Hey, hello and welcome to another episode of CP 2049 Solid State Society. Tonight's session, we pick up with Yang and Yin. Yang played by Tet and Yin played by Matt. We'll pick up tonight's session right where we left off with these two characters. In the previous session, um, Yang sends a message out to Yin to meet him in Kyoto. Um, and he has something that would interest her very much. Yin makes her way there. Yang meets her at the airport and proceeds to take her to a familiar place. Her experiences are very similar to Yang when he first came to a place that had a lot of memories for him. And just like Yang, Yin too started getting these memories back. Many of them were repressed after years of abuse um, and servile obedience to her father. But eventually, Yang takes Yin to the old dojo where she spars with the old spar bot, after which proceeds to take her to a large house in the center of the Hakusan city. And in this house, Yin finally is able to reconcile with her past. She realizes that man who she's been calling father is not really her father, it's actually their uncle. Yang shows her the ancestral home and the garden where the peach blossom, or I believe the peach blossom or the lotus blossom, stands proudly in the courtyard. The master of the house, the one who's in charge of the place now, what's his name? Master Hando. He proceeds to tell them a strange tale. Yin and Yang's father is actually Kurosawa Takeda. He had a brother who lived in Icarus One, and together Kurosawa and his brother built the Takeda enterprise. However, they had a younger brother. The younger one proceeded to create animosity between the two elder brothers. He used the brothers' ambition, their goals to increase the influence of Takeda Enterprise against each other, eventually killing them both. This brother is none other than Hirota Takeda. He then proceeds to take Yin and Yang as his own children and proceeds to fly to Icarus and set up his base, where after for years Yin and Yang are subjugated to abuse, both mental and physical, and also in many ways he turns them against what was once taught to them, turns them against the true ideals of a samurai, the true ideals of serving the people. Once all this becomes clear to Yin, it's that when she decides to destroy her mask, destroy those aspects of her past that have held her back, those aspects of her past that are forcing the decisions of today. She makes the conscious decision to be herself, come what may, whatever the side effects of not taking the drug are. Yin chooses to be Chiyako again. And that is where the session ends, and tonight's session begins from that very point where Yang takes Yin back into the dojo within the true Takeda house, and that's where we'll pick up. Go ahead.
Hiroyuki walks with his sister back into a place that he has not lived at for years and years, but has been staying there recently. He helps her inside, looking at her troubled, wondering what will happen to her body as the drugs withdrawal. He has heard on the streets of terrible things from likely drugs a lot less potent as this. He fears that now this short time they have been together, reconciled as brother and sister, not adversaries, not yin and yang, but Chiyako and Hiroyuki, will be all too short. He looks to Master Hondo and says, "Prepare my sister a room, and if possible, I would like a doctor to come. She will need it in the days to come."
And as they walk into the house, Chiyako holding on to Hiroyuki, climbing the stairs and back inside, she takes one look back outside to the remnants of her mask, seeing it destroyed on the ground in pieces, seeing the flow of what remained of the drug up onto the cement. She takes a deep breath, turning away, making her way inside. There's a tightness in her chest, nerves about what would happen. There had been only one other time that she had not taken the drug consciously. With that time accompanied much pain, much suffering, and an attempt to take her own life. But even knowing this, knowing what she knows now about her family, about her true father, about what she had done to her brother, there was some guilt there, but also determination and not going back, not suppressing, not forgetting. And this is what Chiyako held on to, what she was hoping would keep her strong, however long it took to fully get off the intoxicants that had poisoned her body for so long. And as Hiro asks the master to draw up her room, invite a doctor, she looks to Hiro and she puts a hand at her side, absentmindedly grabbing towards where the mask would be, pausing and then grabbing the burner phone. And I am going to message Dean, ask him to come.
Hiro nods. Yes, I will pick him up. Have him come into Kyoto.
Okay. I will let him know when he gets here. I just hope he'll come. And she takes out her phone and sends the message to Dean. She types away at her phone, not trying to hide it or anything from Hiro. Typing out, "Dean, it's Chichi. I can't use my phone. I'm in Kyoto. I destroyed the mask. No more drugs. No more haze. I need you. Here. Please. Please don't tell Trauma. Please don't tell anyone. Come here. Please, I can't do it without you. And she hits send shortly after typing it up, taking a deep breath and putting her phone back into her pocket.
Master Haneda is looking at both of you intently. He turns around, walks to a low table. You can see on it is a tray with 2 cups. The cups seem to be steaming. He picks the tray up, comes towards both of you. He says, "Sit. There is much to be discussed, children. I will have a room prepared for you, Chiyako, and I will have a doctor come in to take a look at you. But while you have your wits about you, both of you must, listen to this. Listen to what I have to say."
Hiro nods, looking to Chiyako. But only
Chiyako. Go ahead, sorry.
No, just only briefly, and then he walks to the table and kneels before it.
Chiyako looks to Hiro, nods to the master. Alright. I don't know how long it will take, but I will stay as lucid as I can. And she makes her way to the table opposite Hiro and kneels down as well.
Master Haneda finally sits right opposite you, and with his right hand, he points to the cups. With his left hand, he holds his right hand as he does so. "Please, drink."
Hiroyuki reaches out for the cup, looks to it, brings it to his face, but old habits die hard. He smells it. "What is this?" he asks.
Master Haneda smiles. It is the Takeda family recipe. Green tea, honey, and some ginseng. And a special root. And he smiles when he says that, but doesn't say any more. It helps calm the mind, revitalize the body, and focus. And I need you children to focus now. Please, drink. And he looks at both of you, and you see there's a similar cup that is steaming right in front of him, and he picks it up and he points it to both of you, and then he starts drinking from it.
Chiyako takes her own mug into her hands, feeling the warmth of it beneath her skin, and she raises it to her lips, lightly blowing on it, steam rushing out onto her face, before she looks to Hiro and the master, and she takes a drink.
There's a sensation that crawls up Hiro's spine. Something ingrained within him from childhood as his surrogate father, Hirota, always had a taster of his food, and Kumiko was not so dissimilar, always suspecting people of the worst. To live a life in constant fear of betrayal, it was difficult. Hiro took a deep breath. He knew he must let go. It was one thing to say that you had divorced yourself of all these things, and another thing to actually do it. And so, with hesitation, he follows his sister's lead, bringing the cup to his lips and drinking.
As the warm tea flows through you, you sense a feeling of contentment, a feeling of, the only way to describing it is wrapping yourself in a warm blanket as a cold, gentle rain is pouring outside. Both of you feel you are home. It's a unique sensation. You never could quite place it. You never could quite define it, describe it. Now you know what was missing, what part of your life was missing, and both of you, as you continue to drink the tea, realize that you have found it. And as you sit there drinking the tea, Master Haneda looks at both of you. Welcome home, Chiyako, the eldest of our clan, and Hiroyuki, the youngest. Our clan has spanned eons back when this island was just droplets from the steel that cut the sea open. Takeda clan has fought, bled, survived everything that was thrown at it, every external foe. But what it was never prepared for was the enemy within. Kurota was his, and he says that with a lot of pain on his face when he says that, one of us. But his betrayal is complete. His betrayal is what has brought dishonor to this house, has brought dishonor to your father and his father before him. Both of you are here now. Both of you have come to terms with what has happened and what has been done to you. The road to self-healing will be long. Even now I can see doubt clouding your judgment. But it is fine. Accept it. Accept the doubt. Accept who you are. Only then you can change, my children. Do not fight what you are. When you do, you will only end up concentrating on the bad. Let go of it. Let what is truly you, the children of Kurosawa Takeda, let it bloom. And for it to bloom, it must push the mud away. It must push the leaves. It must push the undergrowth away for it to bloom.
And what do you do when there is nothing good? My life has been spent. the son of my father's killer. And then afterwards, a pimp. What do I have that is good, that I may push this exterior from my body? I know what is right. I know this is right. But I still seek vengeance. It is all I can see. Before, it was at the behest of Kumiko, our cousin. Which is another thing entirely. That, to me, was enough. I hated my father, but I did not know why. Not in truth. I knew that he had treated us poorly, but this is all I have known. Even when I was free of his shadow. The world is a boot, and I am a slug. I run slowly, but it is everywhere. It is the heavens pushing down upon me. But now I am free. I know why my blade must pierce Hirota's heart. It is vengeance. It is honor. But is that right? Is this what my life will be? Endless bloodshed until I am killed or he is killed? And how many perish between he and I? How many of my friends, if I have any, will see their life extinguished because of my rage, which still builds inside? How do I cast it out and find serenity? It is beyond me. He draws quiet and looks to Chiyako as she begins to speak.
Chiyako looks to Hiro, and she extends a free hand to him. We are here now, Hiroyuki. I still feel the same. The vengeance. The desire to cut our uncle to pieces. To stab him through the heart. To take back what is ours, what is our family's. What our real father built. For it is hard to forget everything he has done. But, as you say, the cycle of bloodshed, the cycle of killing, cycle of destruction. It is strange to say this, but it is only going to continue to poison us and our family if we continue this cycle. If we continue to lash out, lash back, to destroy the man who has taken everything from us, or at least so we think. But for now we're here. We have this place. We have our family name. We have each other. And though it's going to be hard, maybe if we can cope with this, with the anger, with the rage, we can finally be at peace.
You can see Master Takeda looking intently at Chiyako as he says this. And both of you both of you notice he seems a hard man. He seems he has seen his own share of death, destruction, grief, despair. But as Chiyako speaks, you can just about make out that there seems to be tears welling up in his eyes. I never understood on your father's insistence of shedding the old ways. I thought it was his young liberal mind speaking, and eventually age and the lessons of time would change it. But I see he was right. He never intended for this house to follow purely in the ways of the old. He intended for his children to be equals among everyone. It was never his intention to make Hiroyuki or Chiyako the true head of a Takeda. He said, when the time is right, they will both prove themselves, and it will be clear who will lead. Your words, Chiyako, have taught an old man a very wise. Never doubt thy master. Never doubt his wisdom. I thank you for that. And you, Hiroyuki, you are just like your grandfather. You choose to take the burden of this world upon your shoulder along with the burden of yourself. Do you remember the blue river we used to go to fishing?
He shakes his head. No.
Yeah. You were just a child then, a baby. Chiyako, you must remember.
Chiyako thinks. It's still hazy. Only slight glimpses. Nothing clear.
Well, every summer your father would insist on having a small family picnic there. Him, your mother, the two of you, and myself. And we would spend the whole day by this river, fishing, laughing, telling each other stories. It was the one day in the year where I was not Master Haneda, servant to House Takeda, and your father was not Master Kurosawa, Master of Haneda. We were equals that one day, and we shared in each other's joys. The reason I bring this up, children, is like that river, we all must exude resilience. Does a river care if a beaver has built a dam across it? Does a river care if children throw pebbles into it? The river flows. It flows on the path on which it is, and over time it carves itself a new path but the river always flows. It does not matter to the river who steps on it, into it, who swims through it, who bathes in it, who defecates in it, who drinks from it. The river does not care. It does not matter to the river. The river just flows. Learn from the river, Hiroyuki. Learn from it, Chiyako. Your enemies may build dams. Your friends may wade in it with you. People might get hurt. People might receive sustenance. But the river always flows, and your duty shall do the same. You say vengeance. No. Think above. Think beyond. The glory of this house, the memory of your father, the honor of the family. When you seek to restore all of these, then your path becomes clear just like the river. It does not matter who stands in the way. It does not matter what they mean to you. It does not matter if their blood must be spilled or their lives must be spared. Because the path ahead is what guides you, not the individual events in the path. And with that, he takes a sip of his tea again and looks intently at both of you.
Hiro scratches his chin for a moment, thinking. And then it is not so different than everything that has come before. Any means to the end. Is that what you're saying, Master?
Any and all mean. Do not presume to give means, names, associations, affections. They are just means. When your goal is clear, that is what matters. And the goal is always yours, Hiroyuki, and yours, Chiyako. I cannot give you a goal. That would be my goal. No. I can only tell you what is and what can be. It is for the two of you to decide what your goals are. You may wish to head back, leave all of this behind, rebuild your lives. So be it. Or you may wish to seek only vengeance upon your uncle. So be it. Or you may wish to bring this household and bring the name of Takeda back into the sunlight, back into this world with honor. If so, so be it. But these are your choices. These are your goals.
I cannot believe that I have flown this far. Deliberated so much. To be told that everything I have done before is not a lie, is not rending my soul, that I could do the things that I have done or would do to see his blood on my blade. That is not. I cannot do those things again, else I will slip back into the facade of Yang, uncaring, unfeeling, The slug beneath the world, though on top of many others, crushing them down as the world crushes me. There has to be something more. There has to be a Bushido, not a New World Bushido. I cast the tenants out. I will never follow those again. For what you tell me is similar to the things I have been told for many years. Serve your master always. Guilt does not exist, only the future matters. Might makes right, love is weakness, hate is strength, death is a blessing, fear nothing. I rebuke these tenets. Love is purpose. Friendship is glory. Might is only right in the defense of the weak. Death is a final end that should be taken only through the purpose of goodness. Serve your master if he is just. Guilt is everywhere, is everything with every action you do. Bushido must mean more than a dirty blade to find the end. I reject it. I have come too far. He pushes himself away from the table. Looks dejected. He doesn't move further, however. Thinking about what he's heard and what he said. He remains there for the moment.
And Chiyako looks to Hiro. As he speaks about rejecting his New World Bushido, there's a smile that comes upon her face. Something that she's been hoping since they reconnected. Since that first night where they sat on the rooftop together. She had always been disappointed that he was willing to take his own life for what she considered just a woman. And as he sat dejected away from the table, she leans a bit closer. We can rebuild, Hiro. We can make the name Takeda something great again. Maybe even better than it was. There are many things that I have done. At this point, I don't regret them. I have a feeling I will. Many people I killed that I didn't need to. Many lives made to suffer because I wanted it. I have always spoken on loyalty, not betraying. Yet, I had betrayed our uncle, betrayed my fiance, betrayed my former gang, betrayed the Goto Corporation, and now, well, betrayed Mr. Sachs. Lying, scheming, coming up with excuses. Always the hypocrite. But we need to move forward. I have the desire to go back, desire to kill more everyone who stands in our way between us and our uncle. That desire is there, and I don't think it will ever go away. But I think in the memory of our father, our true father, we need to move forward, not backward, not take what we think is ours. He brought a great dishonor to our family. We can rebuild that honor ourselves. For what he has, it's just things, just money, power over there. That is all he has. But what we can rebuild here, together, it'll mean more than the things, the assets he has. Because we can rebuild it as a family. We can finally do justice to our father. Not through death, but through life. Our own.
Hiro is looking straight forward and down towards the tray, not looking at his sister. Not for a long while, until finally his head turns and he looks over his shoulder. And tell me what happens when Hirota realizes where we are and what we're doing. Will he stay in Icarus? Will he come for us, once and for all, and burn this place asunder? Murder us all, murder the town. No, we cannot risk that. I will not rebuild my life with hope, only to see it dashed, because I did not make the hard choice.
You make a good point, Hiro. For if we do rebuild, you're right, he will most likely come for us. And everything that we have constructed in that time. I am with you all the way. I will do whatever you think is necessary. For I do not want to see anything happen to you, if possible. I want us to remain a family, remain together, and that means going back and taking vengeance. I can come to terms with that.
He looks to the master briefly. I do not know. I am conflicted. This place is so serene. I look out and see the tree and the leaves and the petals falling, and I remember every night for many years looking into VR, imagining this place, searching all the databases across the world for beautiful trees, and the lotus blossoms fall. And there were many things that were a wonder, but never did I see anything like this. Never did I smell the petals, the wetness of the rain, the damp, the humidity in the air, the break of the heat. Everything I have wanted in my deepest desires, my dreams that I pushed away. Here it is. Here it is. Peace, calm, relief of a sense that I might break apart into a million pieces and fall away with a light wind, ash over the sea. And I must tear myself away and put myself back into that hell, that neon hell. The screaming cars, the screaming people, the screaming women, the death, the garbage, the stench, the heat of 1,000 upon 1,000 upon 1,000 lights burning, wasting away the ocean. How can I do this? How do I steel myself once more to pull away from this? How do I go back? How do I confront those that I have left?
You're not going back to who you were before. You're not stealing yourself, becoming what you once were. You are who you are now. You're fighting for this serene place, for the tree outside, for the home here. You and I have a reason to fight for this. So let it not take you back. Let you move forward.
I suppose part of me wants to leave and walk into the mountains and become nothing. To ease this anguish, these sleepless nights, these terrible dreams. What is life worth living if it is in constant peril? I don't know, Chiyako, if I can do this. The moment my feet touches that place, I will become Yang again. I know it. I will gnash my teeth and grab my hilt and stride forward, beating away anything that stands in my path.
There is another option. One that I do not know is right. Do not know if it will work. Uncle has the company. He has what he needs. He has his successor. He only fights back because he knows that we want the company. What if we just tell him he can have it? Tell him we're done. We're done fighting. We're done coming after him and his boy. We're done competing for assets, for power. He can keep himself in that cesspool, have the things that he has, keep the things he has stolen. We remain here. We keep in ourselves. We don't lose what we have, what we've gained. We keep the memory alive here. And we don't go back.
I don't know. He might think it a ploy. He might also think that we'll change our mind one day, even if he thinks we are truthful now. He will still come for us, just to be safe. One day, perhaps not anytime soon, we'll be lying on our beds. Your little gaijin children with Dean will be running, playing with Boken, and some bastard with a gun will mow them down. I can't let that happen. No matter my fear of returning to the ways of old, to this no world Bushido, if I must suffer, so this place exists, I will. If I must bend the knee to Kumiko again, I will. It matters not what I wish. I know my goal. My goal has been clear. It is clear now after seeing this place. My place here is not important. It is important that this place exists, that it lives on. With you. You should stay.
Hiro, I don't want you to go back. I don't want you to get lost again.
I will always have my North Star here. If I am lost, then perhaps I will find my way back again. You have someone you love, I assume? You have a future. Once this drug is past, you will be even more lucid and a new person entirely. You have the most to lose, because you will gain so much. I have no one, not really. I have only what has been given to me, what has been forced upon me. I will do what I must for this goal, as Master Haneda has said. He is right. Now I see it. I push away these fears, the self-pity, the means to an end, that this place remains, and you with it. Live. Live for our clan, live for our family. If I am lucky enough to survive this, then I hope I can return and enjoy the tree as I do now. If not, I will worry about that then.
Chiyako, you can see a pained expression across her face. She blinks a bit rapidly, looking to Hiro. There's nothing that I can say to sway you from this, is there?
He simply shakes his head briefly.
At this point, Master Haneda gets up. He walks to the back wall beside your father's photo, and there is a bookcase. He opens the doors to the bookcase, and from it he pulls out one very large tome-looking book, seems heavy, and a smaller book. He brings those two and puts it with great reverence onto the table. He opens the larger book first. It is the perfect mix of the old meeting the new. Each page in the book is yellowed with age, the edges are frayed, but the page itself is enclosed and protected within a very thin glass sheath. You can see by looking at the contraption that each glass sheath is a vacuum protecting each page till the glass is shattered. He turns the book, the tome, towards both of you, and he starts opening each page. He pauses at each page till both of you have had a chance to read it a bit and comprehend. And then he switches and turns the page over. And he does this for a good 5 minutes, and he has both your attention completely wrapped up in that book. Both of you see that it is basically the chronicles of the Takeda family, going all the way back to the 1500s. You both have never seen anything like this, let alone comprehend the realization that your family is not some new family. Your family is of old. And as each of you read or briefly look at each page, you can see the achievements. Some are worthy, some are bloody. A samurai meeting the demands of his shogun. A samurai standing up for his people. A family in times of need choosing profit over people. A family in times of profit choosing people over profit. You can see, like everything else in the world, this family too has tried to achieve balance between its wrongdoings and things that it gets right. When he realizes that both of you have comprehended some of that, he brings out the smaller book and he opens it and shows it to both of you. He says, "This is your father's diary, children. Take your time and read it. Absorb his words. But let me summarize it for you. Your father, he was a once-in-a-generation Takeda. There have been a few like him before. They looked at this world in a very different light. They looked at the duty of the Takeda family in a very different light. And this was something that he would conflict with his brother in Icarus and your uncle. Your father, like you, Hiroyuki, wanted to do something for the people. He saw the world for what it was. The world eating itself ravenously, unendingly, never happy, never satiated. But he thought with the family's riches, with the family's connections, resources, maybe there was something that we as Takedas could do. It seems he had an answer, and maybe that is the reason why your uncle chose to make his move, to kill your father. Before he left for his trip to Icarus to try and patch things up with his brother there, he told me that he had come upon a solution. Something that the Takeda family has been working for some time in Japan. A different tack, one might say, from what was being done in Icarus.
And
You are right that your uncle Kurota will not leave you be. He will always hunt you as long as you're alive. He may be distracted with other matters, but when he focuses on something, and I have seen him as a child, I have trained him. He is a man of singular focus. Believe me when I say this, that he will not stop. He might pause, but he will not stop till the both of you are buried 6 feet deep.
and what did our father want to do?
He believed that if he broke apart the company, showed up the resources in Japan, he had come upon a formula. He never told me what the formula was for, what it would achieve, but he said it would uplift the masses. It would bring about a new dawn upon humanity. But it would mean that the Takeda enterprise in its current form today would cease to exist. It cannot, for what it must do might eat itself up. Just like you, Hiroyuki. You are ready to sacrifice yourself for this household, for your sister, for the memory of your father. But your father saw something larger. He was ready to sacrifice this household for the people. The way of a true samurai. And your uncle, singular may be his focus, but greed is above for him. He could not allow that. He would not allow that. And when he realized that your father was dead set on doing this, it was already too late. for any of us to protect him.
We're getting a lot of scratching from you. I don't know if you're rubbing your
Oh.
mic or...
Must be that. Sorry.
No, your problem. Just... Hero... nods. Yes. I have never had any interest in Takeda Corp. Not for myself. He looks to Chiyako.
I do not have any desire, any want to run the company. I think it is more problem than it is worth. But if there is some way we could carry out Father's wishes.
He scratched the back of his head. Zypher, question. Is Takeda a publicly traded company?
Takeda is a publicly traded company, yes. But the brothers, and now the singular, holds a majority of it.
Yeah.
He is by de facto the majority.
Yes.
Because
So he owns over 50% of the shares of the company, is what you're saying.
So let's go to that. And as you're thinking about this, Master Haneda says, there is a way to break the company apart. There is a way to bring Hirota to his knees. Your father saw his greed. Your father knew that he, of all people, would never see eye to eye. He knew Hirota would always try and get it all. But he felt his other brother, Nicholas, would understand. If he broke the company apart, his brother Nicholas would get his share. Hirota was never really part of the founding member. He is just the only surviving member, hence he has all the power right now. But your father's ultimate will is locked. The moment it's opened by his true beneficiaries, and he looks at the both of you and he says that his will go into effect. The moment you do that, Takeda Enterprises, as a global conglomerate, a megacorp, will cease to exist. It will be broken down into various entities. It will activate whatever your father's final plan was for the entity based in Japan. I don't know what it is.
And where is his
Whatever.
will?
When you say that, Master Haneda smiles. It is in Tokyo. It is in a secure building.
He shakes his head. I cannot believe this. We've been talking about killing and murder when it is as simple as selling stock.
I know. I did not think it would be.
Hiroyuki, you will still have to kill and murder to defend yourself. When you make a move on that, Hirota will know. He has his spies and they're very, very effective. When you make a move on that particular item, he will come at you. The choice is yours, whether you wish to activate and disappear and leave him holding the ruins, or meet him head on, but the choice is yours.
Perhaps we begin to ally ourselves with, well, corporations here, or the government. I do not know.
Well, as long as our uncle is distracted, we have some time to build, time to plan how to get the will, how to take on the forces here.
Yes, perhaps it is best if you remain here. I will return to Icarus for a while. I owe one person at least to speak to her in person.
But going back there, it's
Dangerous.
yes.
I won't be long. I'll pick Dean up at the airport, send him here, and fly back.
I would rather you not do this, but if you really think talking to her is the best in person,
Define best.
the best way.
It is complicated, Chiyako.
I can imagine. There's I don't think you'll have time. Maybe they've been discovered already and killed. There is someone who looks like me back in Icarus. Someone who's been, like I said before, doing things that, planting bugs in Kumiko's office, giving the information to Sax. So
When we discussed this before, right? I'm trying to separate my out-of-character knowledge and my in-character knowledge. Okay.
yes, talked about it on the train.
That's what I
think.
thought. Okay.
Well, if they're still out there, I know if Sax finds out that I'm here, if the go to a corporation finds out that I'm here, I don't know if they'll come after me, try to enact some sort of revenge for my flightiness. But if that doppelganger is there, he's in Icarus, does look like me, perhaps there's a gang that I wasn't speaking terms with. Perhaps if you can enact the destruction of this doppelganger, kill Yin in Icarus, and kill the life that I choose to leave behind.
And if this doppelganger is killed, perhaps Father will believe she is killed.
Yes.
If she exists.
Yes, if she is not me. I do hope it's someone else.
It was. regardless if it is your body or not.
Yes. But faking, or at least getting a body for my own death, would be the best to tie up that end. I don't want you to be in Icarus for longer than you have to be. But if you can somehow pull strings, get this person found, if they can be found, destroy them.
I will try. I have no influence there now. I have none of Chiyako's assets. I will be on my own.
You might not be. The Cryptics, they are a gang in the stacks. One that I have close relations with. You could pull on them.
Perhaps. Do you think a gang like this would be able to find someone that Mr. Sachs has no idea who is? I find that hard to believe.
Maybe. Maybe not. But it is something. Better than nothing.
I will use them if I can. Perhaps I believe I have a way to secure your safety from Mr. Sachs.
How?
Information he does not have. Information he will want. It may mean my life, and it certainly will mean Kumiko's.
Hiro.
I'll deal with Mr. Sachs while I'm there.
If need be, Zypher, quick question. I think the medallion that I was given, it's a physical thing, right?
Yes, that's a physical thing.
Okay. Again, Chiyako would have that on her. And she'd rustle around in her pockets, and she'd take out this medallion. Kind of looks like this multiple swirls on it, almost like a maze.
One minute, let me just show it.
And she hands it to Hiro. This is what Mr. Sachs gave me. He wanted me to be a part of an organization, one that was bent on that's technology, the one that had the back door, the one that Mr. Sachs and company could access. He was going to use it to, if I remember correctly, basically completely shut down, disrupt, sow chaos within Icarus. That's why he wanted it spread. That's why I wanted it sold.
But for what reason?
I'm not sure what his ultimate goal was. But I know he wanted to do that. This medallion. If you find the one who looks like me, place it on her. No one else has this. That at least looks like me. as far as I know. This will at least confirm that it is me who is dead to him. If you choose to go that route, for I would rather you not have to risk your life. And I know you care about Kumiko still. And giving her up, I know that would hurt you.
I can steal it back, perhaps, and return it. I know where it was when I left. I know all of Kumiko's hiding spots. It might not come to that.
All right.
I want you to remain here. Get healthy if you can. When Dean comes, find out a way to get to that will.
I will. I will do everything I can. Make sure that we have plans prepared. Plans for when you get back. Once I am hopefully better, I will try to make connections here.
He nods. You'll get better. I know it.
I will hold on to memories of our childhood and these ones now. I will push through. For us. For Father. And for the family.
And for our future. One of
Yes.
peace.
And prosperity. And apparently my Gaijin children running around beating each other with sticks.
He sighs heavily. They will be mightily ugly.
I think they will be beautiful. In their own way. I hope they look like me.
For that I am in agreement. And have... well, perhaps your IQ and his common sense. He made a wise choice when he picked you.
Oh, well, I don't know about wise. I mean, we met in a bar.
Better than meeting when you're 5 years old and your partner is your nursemaid. I wouldn't worry about it so much.
Chiyako smiles and puts her head down. I won't. I wish... Are you leaving soon? Or just...
No, I will wait until he arrives. I will be here with you.
Thank you, Hiro.
He nods. Perhaps it is time for you to rest.
Yes, I don't know exactly how long it will be before the effects come on. It varies. But I will rest.
The doctor, Master.
Master Haneda looks at both of you, bows, gets up and leaves the room. That night, as Yang is by himself on the ramparts of this great house, in the cool night wind of Hakusan, he proceeds to read the diary of his father and get to know the true Kurosawa Takeda, his true father. elsewhere in the house, the onset of the withdrawal from the drugs sets in, and Yin is in sweats, tossing and turning, trembling, shivering, doing her best to muffle her screams as the withdrawal sets in. And as the two siblings are reliving their personal hells, the camera starts to pan out over Hakusan, continues to pan out, and it across the ocean towards Icarus, where something seems to be brewing. And with that, the screen fades to black as the session comes to an end.